Okay, so we moved to game 3 of the tournament, my Bretonnians versus some Tomb Kings. And this is, you've probably seen a lot of my games against Tomb Kings if you follow the series, because this is a player I play all the time. And it's kind of funny when you go to a tournament and you end up playing somebody that you play every other week anyway. But whatever, he's a good opponent, have fun playing him, and his Tomb Kings has certainly caused me a lot of problems over the last year. So on his far right, or my far right, his far left, he's got some chariots, he's got 20 bowmen, behind them some skeletons. There's a prince with his catapult, and I think on his next turn the prince moves in with the skeletons, so in case I forget to say that. He's got a lich priest with the casket of souls, tomb guard with his king, 20 more skeletons, there's a scorpion, the hierophants in the woods, and then he has some carrion. So my strategy against this list, again, I've played it before. It causes me endless grief, but for the most part what I'm learning is his units aren't that tough. I can beat anything on the table fairly easily except for his tomb guard, because they get the free reform before his turn, and then they can charge after that, or they can move and then charge in the magic phase, because I can't stop all of his magic. And I have to be concerned about the Casket of Souls. So my thinking is kill everything piecemeal, get the Casket of Souls killed as soon as possible, get that stupid catapult killed as soon as possible, because it gets to shoot during the magic phase and the shooting phase, and every time it kills even just one guy I have to take a panic test at -1. Those are my priorities. And then just avoid that Graveguard unit. So big unit of Knights Errant on this side. My goal is just to push them right up to the chariot, take a charge, and then beat him through combat res, maybe support him with the BSB's unit. There's a Noblar in the woods. The scenario for this one is we each have a Noblar. Our job is to keep him safe. He has his in his Tomb Guard unit. I have mine in the woods. At the end of the game, if yours is alive and outside of your deployment zone, you get a scenario point. Well, we both totally forgot about these, so neither one of us got any scenario points because I didn't move this guy out of my deployment zone. Anyway, you can see my lineup there. My general is pretty much in front of his casket, because that's what his job is going to be this game. You saw my Knights of the Realm, Knights Errant, small men-at-arms, Grail Knights, Pegasus Knights over here to knock out those carrions so they don't just make easy work of my trebuchet, and then again just support wherever they're needed. So Tomb Kings 1, he moves up as you can see. The carrion, now what he did, he put the Hierophant within 12 inches of the carrion, so they're lined up so that if he can get that spell off, they can charge my trebuchet turn 1. But because I'm used to playing them, I know that. So I have one scroll, I'm saving that for turn 1 casket, and all my other dice I'm saving for that movement on the carrion, and anything else he wants to cast I'm going to let him, because it just doesn't matter. So that didn't work for him. His various shooting and catapult, whatever, killed a couple fast cav, killed a couple of my Knights Errant, everybody passed their panic tests, and we moved to Brett turn 1. So you can see on the right, I moved my Knights Errant up to take on that chariot unit. I'm just not worried about it. I mean, he can win it, but for the most part, my experience has been that my knight units can withstand that charge. Move my fast cav up as a meat shield so that the archers don't shoot my general. And there's a chance the archers might charge me, but if they do, I'm going to stand with the fast cav, and they'll beat him, and they'll overrun into my general, but we won't fight that till my turn, and on my turn I can bring in some support. So that's what I'm thinking there. My general's facing the Casket of Souls, so whatever happens with those archers, when all's said and done, my next job is to charge the casket. Otherwise, on the left you can see I move my guys up, and I may or may not show up, but my Pegasus Knights charge the carrion on the left-hand side. So, close-up picture, close-up picture. Yeah. So I charged the carrion. I thought I would just make real quick work of them, but I just kind of fluffed my attacks, and there's 1 or 2 remaining at the end of the turn, which is kind of bad because his scorpion's going to be able to charge me on his turn. Now, if you look, this says Tomb King's turn 2, but if you look at the far right, that little yellow marker, on turn 1, again, my damsel, for this game I rolled for the Beast Cowers, and my damsel got it off resistible force 2 games in a row. And so the chariot unit on the far right can't move this turn. And now he's really stuck, because if he charged me, he at least had a chance, but he can't move, and so on my turn I'm going to charge him, and he really doesn't have a chance. So that went well for me. His archers did decide to charge into my fast cav. His prince is now with the unit of skeletons on the right. That's fine. Otherwise, you can see how he moved. That's just a close-up picture. And the Scorpion came into my Pegasus Knights. And I'm worried here, too, because he's got a bunch of attacks, Strength 5, with Poison and Killing Blow. That thing can cause me some grief. So his Catapult kills 2 more Knights of the Realm, kills a Knight Errant, and amazingly, both of them pass their Panic test at -1. Now, granted, my General is nearby, but still. So at the end of combat, he whiffs his attacks, and I believe the Carrion are all destroyed, and there's 1 wound on the Scorpion or 1 wound left on him. But either way, really, really unfortunate rolling on his part. Skeletons make quick work of the fast cav. They get a flank charge of my General. We'll fight that on my turn. But on my turn, I bring in my BSB with Questing Knights and the Men-at-Arms, and I'm very, very confident that I'm going to pop that unit this turn. If you look at the top left, on the far right, off the screen, my Knights Errant, of course, charged his chariots. And on the left, this is a little bit dicier. I just want to go ahead and get that unit off the board, the skeletons up there. So I charge with 2 units. I think I can pop them. My hope is to take the Grail Knights and overrun off the board, stay where I am at with the Knights Errant, and so if his General's unit charges the Knights Errant, I'll flee with them. The problem with the Grail Knights is if I can't flee a charge, and that really hurts me in these tactics of just trying to avoid certain units. So there's that charge. Very comfortable that that's going to go well. Very comfortable this is going to go well. Somewhat comfortable that should go well. I did the math on it later. I should have done 12 wounds. That would be the mathematical odds of that. Doing 12 wounds, there's plenty of static combat res to kill the whole unit. And I'm close enough to the table edge that I have a pretty good chance to get my